Sean Zittel, Radio Rahim, about that action with Tommy Lamanna, who's out sweating his balls off in New York City, just like I was a couple days ago.
Sweating my balls off, bro.
Wait a minute. What borough are you in? I wasn't listening earlier.
No, I'm not. Yeah, time out. I'm not in New York now.
Oh, I thought you were still there.
I'm in Jersey.
Oh, he's back home in Jersey.
Okay. Oh, okay. No. Okay. So this weekend, I was in Niagara Falls. I was up by Canada. I was on the other side.
Oh, America.
Yeah. So yeah, my bad.
No, so never mind. He's sweating his balls off in Jersey.
It's fucking hot as shit, guys. It's a heat wave. It's 91 right now.
But hey, Tommy said, Rahim, heading into fight night, that it would be Boots Ennis in 8 rounds or less. And it was less than 8 rounds, Tommy. So good on you, good call. Did you take umbrage with anything in our post-fight analysis? Anything you want to get off your chest before we get to the broad picture of Boots following this Saturday?
Yeah, I do, because Rahim, I tell Sean all the time, man, I'm a fan. You know what I mean? I'm very fortunate to come on the show a handful of times, and all that. So I watch it. I watch the shows and episodes and all that. And I was like 7 minutes into the Boots Xander post fight, episode, and you said something that really grinded my gears, if I want to be real. And it was the fact of Xander not showing you in the lead up or the fight week that, something alluding to not believing he's going to win or something to that effect.
Let me help you. So we started on the right track. What I didn't see from him was the determination that he was going to go into that fight dictating terms. When I say that he didn't believe he was about to go be the boss. He didn't believe that he was the champion and that Boots was the challenger.
But how do you know that?
What?
But how do you know that?
I don't know it. It's what I perceived from what I saw.
Yeah.
Right? And I got to tell you, I've been at a lot of fucking fights over many, many, many years. I've seen a lot of fighters on fight week prepare for their opponent. So it's not like I came out this looking at this kind of dynamic for the first time. There are certain things that are said, certain postures that are taken in the face-off even. Energy. Like the kind of energy you had when you came on the show, I wasn't sure if I was going to like this guy. But in the first 5 seconds, I'm like, oh, I'm going to like this guy. But what did you say? Oh, he's one of us. Energy. You don't fucking know, but you think maybe based on how we speak to each other and what we say, based on his posture, what he said at the press conference, the way he was looking at the face-off, the way he was smiling. I've seen guys who are coming to be the boss, and I've seen guys who are coming to negotiate terms. And he came in with that energy of negotiating terms. And if you'll see, he was very different than Boots' posture, which might have been too laissez-faire. We did have a discussion around, is this guy taking it for granted? Maybe taking Xander too lightly. But he was matter-of-fact about it. He fucking swayed me. I wanted to believe. He just didn't give me enough indication that he was feeling like I was feeling. And that's all I was saying. Do I know? No. But now we do know. I think the way he fought, I've discussed that too. It's just... He betrayed to me what his mindset was going in. And that's what I'm commenting on.
Someone's mic is up. Someone's mic is acting up.
Yeah. I feel, and Sean, it's hard to hear you. I don't know.
Is everyone's mic all right?
I hear y'all loud, clear.
All right. Rahim, stop for 1 more minute.
Huh?
It's not me, right? No. I heard a little.
Y'all good.
Yeah. All right. Go on.
You know what it is?
What?
It's our feedback on Cornflake's mic. I can hear us reverberating on your speaker.
Almost like hear a wind in some.
So time out. Yeah. Talk real quick. Talk and say some things.
Yo, what's going on?
Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Did you hear yourself now? I went on mute.
Okay.
All right.
There you go. Good shit.
All right. So when y'all talking, I'm gonna go on mute and make it whatever. All right. So boom. All right. So while you've been covering boxing for a long time, you're goated for. We all know about the Deontay Wilder till this day shit, right? We all know that. I'm not going to do a Mr. Big Dick contest, but I've been in the ring close to 50 times. I've been there at the highest of the high. Maybe I didn't win them all, but like I've been there and like I can give real life, you know what I mean, like feelings. Yeah, everybody's different, man. Like everybody's different. I also think too with Xander's always been, I think, quiet. Doesn't really talk a lot. I've actually noticed Boots do a lot more shit talking and giving predictions and all that recently as well. So like everybody changes. I just don't think it was right or fair to say that. Okay, Xander shook some ass that night on Saturday. He got up off the canvas multiple times, showed heart. He's 23. He's never been fucked up like that before. He's never been in that moment before, and he showed like. To me, he showed I am a unified world champion. You keep getting up. Yeah, everybody's giving him shit on him shaking his head or smiling and acknowledging that the coach was going to stop it and whatever, and they're saying he quit. They're making all that type of shit. I don't believe that. But leading up to that, bro, he got up, he fought, he hurt Boots, he had Boots on Twinkle. He shook a lot of ass that night. Yeah, he didn't win. And outside that third round, I don't think he was very competitive. I don't think he was winning anything but that third round. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing was, and I text Sean like, yeah, I don't like that because like don't already in a way of kicking him while he's down, saying like he didn't show me that he really want or whatever it was. Like I don't like that, bro. Like, and I'm speaking from the fighter. Like just because he's quiet and his energy was a little off and all that too. Like I could say this, you know what I mean? Like. I didn't like that, brother. I didn't like that.
Okay. I wouldn't like that either, but I think with all due respect, the show's 59 minutes, and it sounded like you listened to like 59 seconds.
No, you're right. No. And I listened to Sean and make sure we don't talk about that thing I told you about.
The conversation that you're talking about was about my pick, not about his performance on the night. That conversation was had before the fight even started. I was saying I was the guy who picked him initially, and I'm getting all this fucking heat. Yeah, it's sort of, you're learning some new information. This is
okay.
Exactly.
He changed his pick before fight night, but I screwed him over, Tommy. I didn't get on the podcast on Thursday and Friday. He changed it to Boots by knockout, but you know.
But I appreciate now. I understand what your issue is, and I think that we may not have an issue. Let me explain why.
Yeah, definitely not. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm going.
Because the pre-fight show that Sean and I did maybe a week out from the fight. Sean, gave the history as he does of both fighters. He got me fucking hype. I started thinking about Puerto Rico. I started thinking about the moment and what it could mean. And if this guy steps in, he's in the fucking wake of Trinidad and Cotto. And now Puerto Rico shows up in the way of Xander Zayas off the Super Bowl. He's waving the flag. It's New York. He's going to put this Philly guy down. And Puerto Rico is pandemonium. And the whole fucking island needs that, and to remind them that they are Americans, and this is going to be his moment. And if he comes in with a I cannot be beaten attitude because I'm that guy, because I am who Puerto Rico needs right now, and it's my moment. And I even said in that show, I have no statistical evidence, I have no breakdown analysis to support this opinion other than I'm in my feels. I'm on a vibe, right? This was a week out from the fight. So what happens next? We go to fight week. I'm looking for that kind of hype or that something to support that's how he's thinking going into the fight. And I said to Sean during fight week, I'm not seeing that energy in fight week. I'm not saying that has nothing to do with whether he did that when the fight actually happened or the bell rung, but what I needed was some support for my prediction. What I seen from him, and then when I contrasted that with what I seen from Boots, energy, attitude, he's saying he's going to make adjustments. Boots saying I'm going to run right over this motherfucker. I'm like, I believe the guy who's saying he's going to run right over this motherfucker than the guy who's ready to come in there and adjust to the challenger, to the contender, to the never-been champion yet at the new weight division. Like, he didn't give me boss energy. And if you watch the post-fight, we gave him nothing but credit for all the things that you just gave him credit for. I didn't in post-fight say he lost because he didn't have that energy. I said I changed my prediction because he didn't have that energy.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
I got you. So it makes sense. It makes sense of what you're saying. I just feel like, energy don't win fights. Fights, the fights.
I'm not so sure about that. Mindset wins fights. Attitude wins fights. It's not enough to beat a guy who is more talented, who is he's a better fighter on the night for sure. But if you're telling me that in that moment a lesser fighter can't beat a better fighter because of his attitude, because of his mindset, because of his sheer determination that his will not be broken, I have to respectfully disagree.
Wait, I'm sorry, Rahim. Can you say that one more time? If I don't think a fighter with less of what again?
A fighter who may be in there with a more talented opponent.
Yeah.
A fighter that should beat him. Guys like I said in the post show, like there's a reason that Rocky is the biggest boxing movie ever. Because there are nights on which guys do more and better than they should be able to do. They overachieve because of the mindset there is. How many times have we seen like a Buster Douglas situation? This guy's mom's died, whatever. I gotta win this fight. I'll die. You'll go further than the guy who's better than you to get it done. And you can't train that. You can't rely on that. But sometimes that element exists, and it can't be in the blue moon the difference in the fight. At no point did I suggest that this was a analytical or statistical or even fundamental type of analysis. It's a feeling. It's a part of making the conversation interesting. It's not a fucking hill I'm ready to die on.
No, I got you.
It's more than a feeling. Boston.
So we're saying, all right. So are we saying then, if Xander, who was the underdog, and not supposed to, even as the champion, not whatever, not picked to win in most eyes, if he was coming with balls, if he was going crazy with and he was his energy was there, and he was given that I'm gonna do whatever, and Boots is saying I'm gonna truck you, and no, I'm gonna fucking run you, whatever Xander would have said, and he did win when he's not supposed to. What would that have done? Like if he was saying, so are you saying that if he was given energy of I'm gonna beat Boots the fuck up or whatever, you would have still picked him? Is what you're saying?
If he had showed me something during fight week that made me think, oh, this guy's on the same page that I'm on, I would have kept my pick where it was. Yeah, exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. So, and you're saying there's not a lot of time.
That wasn't the difference in the fight. That was the difference in who I picked.
Okay. So, but you're saying that because maybe I'm a little parched right now. But you're saying that it is a thing, or it's not a thing, where.
Go ahead.
Hold on, brother.
Go ahead.
But it is a thing, or it's fuck you. It is a thing, or it's not a thing. Sorry. All right. It is a thing, or it's not a thing that the lesser skilled fighter and the person that's not supposed to win goes crazy with his mouth. That's crazy. Or gives the impression that I'm gonna do whatever, or he has to sit quiet, relax, smile, laugh like Xander was doing, and going with the flow, getting through fight week and all that bullshit, and win. Is that is that a thing, or that's not a thing?
I'm not sure I understand the question, but I will try to explain this again.
All right.
I'll give you another example. Maybe this will help. Juan Manuel Marquez and Pacquiao 4. I interview Juan Manuel Marquez 2 days before the fight. He's carrying his book around, and he's trying to sell his book about his life. And I interview him, and I'm talking to him about his book, and I'm like, your life's not, done. Like, how much of this book are you gonna still have to write? You have a fight in a couple of days, and he's like, Pacquiao stole my life. I mean, he said that from the depth of his soul. He believed that the life he should be leading was the one that he is watching Pacquiao experience. And whether or not that punch lands, regardless of his mindset, interfacing with this guy, feeling that energy, like it is life or death for him. He feels like everything that it belongs to him was stolen from him by Pacquiao, and this is his last chance to live the life he deserves. Okay, he goes into that fight an underdog as well, and then that magic punch lands. And so, yes, it can happen. I give you the Buster Douglas example before, and there are others where it's not something you're going to predict. It's not something that you could look at on paper and say that you can factor this into the equation. But if you're around fighters, or if you are a fighter, if you have experienced this kind of build-up countless times, sometimes you see a thing in a guy. Sometimes you, like, how many times do you hear a guy ask the question from the media, well, what did you see when you looked in his eyes, or whatever? Well, you could say, it doesn't matter what you see in his look in his eyes. It has nothing to do with the fight at all. But even fighters will be like, I seen this, I seen that, or take something from the body language or the energy. I'm just doing the same. And then I want to see if that plays out when the fight happens.
I got you. So I guess then more recently, the point that I'm getting to where I want to make was more recently an event that I was a part of that when I fought Jamal Charlo, it was Resendiz against Caleb Plant. And Resendiz, quiet, laughing. He don't even understand what the fuck is being said right now. Right? He don't know what's going on, like, respectfully, right? He don't, right? He's laughing, he's smiling, he's just there, right? Dog walk. Boom. Beat the shit out of my man, right? Fucked him up. Fucked the whole Caleb Jamal thing up, right? So that we let the fights happen. I said that in that lead up as well. I'm not trying to be like self-centered, like whatever, right? That's where I said, yo, y'all all praising this fucking guy with this fucking guy. Let the fucking fights happen first. And then get, you know what I mean? So like when I hear like the lead up, I don't like his energy, so I just didn't see it. I'm thinking in my mind, who the fuck are you to think or even say that? And not you, anybody that says it. You're not the only one.
I'm the guy giving the fucking opinion. I'm the guy with the show. I'm the guy who did the interview. I'm the guy. That's who the fuck I am. I'm the guy who people are listening to because it's on the show that I do. What do you mean? And it's not about like rah-rah. You gotta be rah-rah.
I'm sorry. I don't
fucking like, it's not you have to be boisterous or disrespectful or you got to be cursing or you got to jump on the guy or slap him at the face off. It's just energy that you feel or you don't. And it's an element. It's an element of the thing. It's something that is palpable sometimes. And it can be the difference between winner and losing. It can be. And it has been on many occasions. Not most, which is why it's very unique. And you got to be really feeling it to believe it. But it happens.
I think his internet connection went for a second. Hold on. Let's get him back on.
That's Jersey for you. But with that said,
there he is.
There you go.
Bro, I'm so sorry, bro. I got a fucking call and I hit the green button instead of the fucking red button.
All good, brother. So yeah, he was saying he's the fucking guy with the fucking the thing.
Yeah, I don't know. How much of that did you hear before you lost the energy?
The energy. What? Nah, I was dude, I didn't hear nothing. I'm so sorry, yo. I'm so sorry. I really.
He said in so many words because I'm the fucking guy with the fucking opinion on the fucking show.
That's why you listen. It's a pre-fight show. What the fuck else am I going to talk about other than what we think might happen and why?
Well then, but what I'm saying is, okay, but what I got you. But what I'm saying is, are we recording?
Yeah, no, I think real quick, Tommy, because let me translate from Jersey East to Oakland West. What he was saying was by that prognostication, Rahim, in his experience fighting on the Caleb Plant Resendiz card, Caleb Plant was saying all the right things to that. I'm going to step on his ass. He's nothing. He's in my way. Kind of similar to Jaron. I'm going to step on this kid, although Jaron wasn't as explicit in saying it as Caleb was to Resendiz. Because Jaron doesn't speak that way as much, but still the same kind of sentiment. Dude's not on my level. I'm about to fuck him up against a big, smiling, just guy constantly smiling, like Xander smiling the whole time, not really offering back any of that bravado back his way.
And mute
I
us
think
again,
Tommy's point,
Cornflake.
huh?
Okay.
His microphone's buzzing.
Oh yeah, and I think to Tommy's point, it went the exact opposite way, with the dynamic having some similarities. One guy is being really verbally sure of himself, even boastful. The other guy's just smiling. And the smiling guy in the Plant Resendiz fight kicked the guy's ass, and then it went the other way around in Boots versus Zayas. So he's saying, you can't make too much of it. Is that what you were? Is that part of what you were saying, Tommy?
The assumption there is that I'm correlating being boisterous or profane or even aggressive with being sure. Marquez was none of those things. He was selling a book. He couldn't have been more even tone. He couldn't have been more but it was the passion said in a subtle, even tone that convinced me. I was just looking to be convinced that what I was trying to peddle around something that has very little off times to do with what happens in the ring was going to matter on Saturday. It's a narrative that was interesting to me, that I believed could happen, and I was looking for some real world support for it, and I didn't get any. He didn't have to shout "fuck you" and "fuck your mother." He could have just said, something that made me feel like, oh, he's feeling it. Oh, this is. And I'll tell you one thing that he did say that also dissuaded me. His constant talking about making adjustments, which is great, which is fundamental, which is part of what boxing is for sure. But what I didn't like about the mindset was that I didn't think as the champion you needed to go in there immediately immediately giving away the ground that you needed to adjust to Boots. I would have liked to hear something that gave me the indication that he's going to hold the center of the ring, that Boots is going to have to adjust to him, that he's going to dictate what goes on in there, and fight on his own terms. I thought going in there trying to immediately counter whatever happens was not going to work. And to be fair, what actually happened, not only was I impressed by, I think was the best possible way he could have fought the fight, which I also got criticized for.
By me,
because he got knocked down.
I'm trying to tell him that's what he does, Raheem. He adjusts. And Raheem's like, no, that's not going to work against Boots. You can't go in there reacting and adjusting to what he's doing. You're going to have to try to impose yourself. And I go, but that's what Xander always says, is I make adjustments. But, yeah.
And he did go in there trying to impose himself. And he got himself into a third round, got Boots in some choppy water. Wasn't enough. Boots turned the tide in the fourth and never let off the gas. But I don't think we even see a third round like that if Xander goes in there boxing 1 and 2. If he isn't,
So
in fact,
So
he did was the best thing he could have done. Excuse me, sorry.
So really quick, yeah, man. I think that was more towards, and it's all opinion. It's all right. It's all opinion and all whatever. But yeah, Xander being a unified world champion, he got the respect and all that good shit. But he was so young. He wasn't at that level. I don't think he was ready. He wasn't at that level. Hence why I think it was. Why there wasn't I didn't give the kid not a kid, right? But I didn't give Xander a prayer in the fight, even as a unified world champion, and everybody was bashing me crazy for Dicky and Boots and everything, right? But it was just kind of writing on the wall, painting on the wall, and yeah, man, no, all the good point. Yeah, you're making good, valid points and what you would expect from a unified world champion. It's just in this case the unified world champion, and I'm not discrediting Boots with the win and everything. He did what he had to do against a top 5 junior middleweight in the world or whatever, unified world champ, so he's probably number 1. But Xander wasn't ready for that level. He just wasn't. So all the stuff I guess that you would expect from a unified world champion, I just don't think Xander was ready for that, and he didn't know how to do that. Adjustments. What adjust what? Fuck you gonna adjust?
Do you think it was too early for him to take this fight? Do you think it was a mistake? Or do you think he could have said, "Hey, I'm not," like you said, "I'm not ready. I'm too young. It's too early for a fight like this"?
Absolutely. He could have been a superstar. We're not going to go as far as say the next Trinidad, Benitez, or Cotto. He could have been a superstar. He already did create, as Sean, for whatever reason, said X $1 billion gate in fucking Puerto Rico on $40 tickets. I don't know how that happened, but he could be a superstar. He could be a superstar.
Now, if you were to go back and watch the show when the fight was announced, not the fight week show, but the fight before that, we said that, and we got again cooked in the comments because he's a 2-belt world champion. Of course he should take this fight. We're trying to destroy boxing because we don't want the good fights to happen when they're supposed to happen. And how can a champion say that he's not ready? That's what's happening in the comments. We, again, put forward the very thing that you just said. And so my point in saying this is part of having a pre-fight show, part of putting yourself out there ahead of it and saying the thing that you think is always going to have its opposition. And sometimes people will misunderstand what you're saying and react to what they think they heard and not really understand or give credence to everything that you said in context. I think a little bit that might have been what happened here, but also you're thinking the same way we're thinking, and you just said the thing even post-fight, and I guarantee you now those comments that were aimed at us are aimed at you. They don't... No one wants to hear anything about who's ready or whether or not or what the energy is or anything. They are staunchly in whatever corner they're in as far as who they're supporting. And once you start talking nuance, you start talking about anything other than a jab, a right hand, a hook, or uppercut, they start talking like you're full of shit. Or
no, not even that, because that's all Tommy talked about with Boots before the fight was jabs and uppercuts and skills and speed and power. And they tried to say Tommy was glazing Boots when Tommy was 100% on the money. Everything Tommy said, 8 rounds or less, his speed, his power, his this, his that. And Tommy was like, damn, man, they're cooking me in the comments. So we all got it.
No, listen, they were drilling the fuck out of me. And I get it. I mean, I'm going to get the last laugh. I'm riding for my guy, right? But, like, that shit was crazy. But, yeah, man, look, tomato. I think we're saying the same shit, speaking a different language. You know what I mean? Which is great. I'm very like this with speaking as a fighter first. Again, I'm big into give the opportunity. I love the underdog. I love an underdog story. And while, again, I just don't feel like there was a prayer Xander was going to win. You know, if he would have, I probably would have been like, you know what? Good on him, because he didn't have to take this fight. He did not have to take. He could have been a superstar. Everybody has. I personally think, he was a sacrificial lamb for Top Rank to get the zone. I'm one of them guys that think
we talked about that when it happened.
Yeah. Like I'm definitely one of them with y'all as well.
Although, hey Tommy, Top Rank. I heard from them that they said this was all on Xander. That this had nothing to do with getting on the zone. I don't know if I believe it, but they. I heard that it was all on Xander. It's what Xander wanted. Do you believe that, or do you call bullshit?
I call bullshit, bro.
Do you think Xander should stay at 54, or is it time to get to 60? Because he's got a rematch clause, and there's other fights at 54 for him if he can make the weight.
So I don't think there's a prayer he takes the rematch. Despite him having little success, I don't see him doing a rematch because he took a lot of punishment. He took a lot. He took a good amount of punishment. And he took enough punishment to be like, you know what, I'm cool. I'm good. Take your, what do you get, 7 million, 8 million, whatever it was. Take your good whatever and go on. At 160, there's Lara, who is it? I think Denzel Bentley is about to fight Joanne Lee Hernandez for the WBO. Adames, I heard, is moving up. So Jesus Ramos. And then who's IBF? That's vacant.
IBF is going to be...
The Zuffa fight. The Zuffa card.
It's going to be a Guinea and a Mick fighting I can't remember their name. They're in the top 2 rankings, and then one of them will have the courtesy of giving their belts over to Amari Jones whenever he gets to fight the winner of those 2.
But what do you call it? Yeah, but it's the Irish kid from that was on Zuffa, right?
That's what I said. I said a Guinea and a Mick.
Yeah, what the fuck? I don't know
everybody's name every
Guineas
time
on there,
now.
but-
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead. I'll get them in the rank. Go ahead. I think it's Ediosa, the Italian kid Ediosa, and it might be McKenna.
Terence McKenna, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, look, poor division. That was my division. Very weak division. Lara's 100 years old. Eventually he'll, you know what I mean? Joanny Hernandez is a beast, but with no profile. Who the fuck is going to want to, you know what I mean? But at 154, it's Boots, Fundora, and Josh Kelly, who I think Boots is going to end up fighting next.
Aaron McKenna and Edinosa Olia, the 2 undefeated fighters from Italy and Ireland.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Aaron McKenna.
But Amari's ranked above both of them now and beats both of them probably.
Amari Jones, you mean? The one from the Golden Boy.
Yep, the Oakland kid.
Yeah. The one with
Over
the
there
A,
with
not
him. Go ahead.
All right. You're going to get canceled, bro.
I said he's going to win the fight.
If I fucking did
I've been over there in Oakland. What do you mean?
Got it. All right, fair.
Yeah.
All right. 160 has not better fighters, but like fighters with lesser profile. 54, you got Boots, who's gonna take over, and then and even if it's number 1 and 2, it's Fundora, who's fucking 8 feet tall, and then Boots, who already fucked you up. I say fucking go to 60 because you ain't making 154 easy. You've been 154 pounds since you're fucking how long? A fucking grip by now.
Probably about half a decade now, probably.
Yeah, that's it, bro. That's 23. He's only getting bigger, Paul's like. He's only getting, you know what I mean? So, to answer your question, I say fuck it, roll your dice on 160.
So in your mind, but what does this say about him? And I'm asking the question. I'm not inferring anything by the question. But what does this say about him if a fighter coming up from 47 in his first fight at 54 can knock him out, knock him down 3 times, and not even on his side be able to knock that opponent down, even if it is Boots? He was big on the night. Do you think that the weight cut hurt him or weakened him? And if not, then at 160, are you worried about the punching power of the fighters up there if he can be stopped by a 47-pounder, essentially, at 54?
So it was the second fight at 154. You forgot Usima Lima fight. But to answer your question, Xander's big too, bro. Big kid, Paul's like he's big. Boots is big as fuck too, though. Boots is not a small guy, Rahim. Boots is big as shit, the homo.
He's not 160 fucking big.
But Xander could eventually get up there. Look, they're not going to throw Xander in. Hold on.
Do you think the punching power at a 160 of any of these guys at the top of the division at 160 is going to be lesser than what Boots came in with in his second fight at 54? So
this kid just fought. Yeah, I think he's entitled to. You come back. He's a big. By the way, his profile went from here to here, off of a loss. Yeah, so top rank, bring him back, bro. That's Brad Goodman and Jesus Christ.
Carl or Bruce?
No, Bruce Trampler. Sorry, the best matchmakers in boxing. The best matchmakers in boxing. They build stars, right? Like. That's why I'm borderline, like, I don't know why they did this. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Graduate him. I mean, like, he's not going to walk into a Joanny, Lara, Adames, Jesus Romero. He's not walking right into that. You know what I'm saying? Graduate him. 3-4 fights from now, say he's 24, 25. Yeah, why not? He's a big star. He did $1 million whatever game in Puerto Rico, right? So you can bring that shit in. You got some DAZN money. You got some DAZN money now?
I would see that as a big setback, taking 3 or 4 fights before he fights at the top level again. What's that? At least a year and a half, if not 2 years.
Right. So 2 things. 1, he got beat the fuck up bad. He got years taken off. I think so.
Years taken off.
I think years taking a bro. Boots is strong, dog. Here I get him. No homo. Here I am glazing again. But like, dude, that kid is strong, bro. Like, yeah, that shit was like that. That wasn't. That was 7 rounds of. Well, I'll give him 6. That was 6 rounds of. That was a little something, bro. So okay, even if it's 2. And by the way, he's only gonna fight every 6 months. So you're looking at a minimum of a year. And then what's the middleweight division look like in a year? You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's a different, you never know. Maybe we have another Resendiz fucking plant situation. One of these guys gets fucking clipped. You never know, man. I just don't think it'll be smart to throw him right into the fire off of that. When he's a popular superstar now. That's just me.
While we still got you, Tommy, do you got a split or do you got another 10?
I got 10, baby.
All right. So let's we talked all about Xander, gave a deep dive on Xander. Let's move on to the winner, man. Jaron Ennis, your man from Philadelphia. What do you think of Ortiz, Fundora, those fights? How do you favor Jaron? I imagine you're gonna rock with Jaron over anybody, and I think I might too. I think I do. I do favor him over the field, but those are very, very serious type pick'em fights. There's going to be plenty of people who think Ortiz and Fundora could get to him and win those fights. And even Bud Crawford, who chimed in on Twitter after the fight and is happily retired, has nothing to prove, but at least for conversation's sake, Bud Crawford too. What do you think of those 3 fights, Tommy?
So what I think is Vergil Ortiz today, a non-champion, is more. You can't say accomplished because he hasn't become a champion, but he's an all-around better fighter than Xander Zayas, who became a unified champion. And I think Xander became the champion off of, again, strategic, smart matchmaking by the best matchmaking crew in boxing, Bruce Trampler, Brad Goodman, against a guy that was. I think his biggest win was Charles Conwell, right? And whatever that happened, right? And then he beat Abrao, what's his name? Eyebrow, what was it?
Barreau, who beat Yoenis Tellez.
Tellez, yeah, who you know what I mean? Tellez, who he was like one of them Cubans that just wasn't ready at the time, like I think, like whatever. Okay, so I think Vergil Ortiz line of work. Even his name, like name-wise, Vergil doesn't really have a big signature win. Well, who is it? Erickson Lubin? No, the Russian, not
Boachuk.
Yeah, Boachuk.
Mean Machine, Boachuk, Erickson.
No, Mean Machine. I like Mean Machine because Boachuk looked like complete dick against Shane Mosley last 2 months ago. So maybe he just ran down. It doesn't matter. So I think Sebastian Fundora is always going to give a tough fight to anybody for the obvious, his height, and the fact of him, like, he's not even a boxer. He's going to stand right in front of you and go tit for tat. I think that will probably favor Boots. I don't know if y'all were noticing, like, even I think Ring Magazine did a photo, one of the photos today, where Boots was catching him with them little short digging uppercuts to the body, the solar plex shots. Them shits hurt, bro. No, not fuck by him, from anybody. You get hit in the right spot and you're breathing out. Oh yeah, you're gonna lose your win. I think that'll favor Boots because he's really good at that. He's really good at counterpunching. Being on the inside, Sebastian does have long arms, so it'll be harder to hit him. Even though he's really good at fighting on the inside, we've seen him do that for forever. I don't think that'll work with Boots because Boots is real versatile. He can switch angles on the inside. I've never seen nobody switch angles on Fundora in the heat of a second. Go from southpaw orthodox, like in a switch and go like be orthodox, hit you with a left uppercut, switch, go to the right, hit you a right uppercut, and come right back. Like I never seen that. That'll be a tough fight. But Vergil Ortiz is the biggest fight that I'm looking forward to. I think that will give him the hardest problem, Boots, and that's my man. But like, I still think the fight will play out kind of like how the Xander thing did. I think Vergil's more crisp and polished than Xander, and can get the shots in a little more. And yeah, that'll be Boots is gonna have to tighten up. let's be real. Like you have to tighten up. Boots is not this invisible guy that he, you know what I mean, was portraying on the come up. Not him portraying, but everybody was saying, right? He's not invisible, so he can get hit. He sharpens his defense up. He gets a little bit more locked in. I got you, baby. Hold on. Gets a little bit more locked in. Boots beats all of them. Boots beats all of them, in my opinion.
Do you think that he's taking those punches because he's not locked in, or is he exchanging and trading because he wants to be in the pocket and is willing to take punches to get off while he's in the pocket?
So I definitely don't believe he's open, like, please hit me. Definitely not. Especially the way Bozy trains. I used to train Bozy, like, defense first. Defense is everything that they train there. So no, I just think Boots is real comfortable, man. Boots is real comfortable inside the pocket. Obviously, how do I say? Boots is getting really comfortable, like with the people he spars, bro. He puts a lot of people out in sparring, like it's crazy. But at sparring, they're not he don't spar the highest level of guys. You know what I mean? No, he does. He spars high level guys, but he doesn't spar Xander Zayas, Vergil Ortiz, Fundora caliber. You know what I mean? But like what he's doing to these guys, I think he's getting a little bit comfortable. And I would say this, like I'm saying this on air, like, and I would say this to him, like, yo. And there's nothing he could do. Like he's doing his part, but like you have to take another step up. I think with the sparring, if you're talking fighting them guys, you know what I mean? Because like, and in his mind, it's too easy for him. I think Boots also too, like, bro, like Boots is a top tier, top 5, perhaps top 3 pound for pound fighter right now. Bro, the shit is too easy. Like sometimes a little bit too easy for him, and he gets bored. He said that. The shit gets easy, and I get bored. But then, all right, well, then your mental's not there, and you're getting caught with some shit. And then you was on twinkle toes for a minute. Not a minute, like 20 seconds. And it's boxing, by the way. Like, that happens, like, bro, like, you know, who's going to ridicule you for getting punched in boxing? You're supposed to get hit. You know what I mean? Especially at the high level. If Boots was getting rocked and putting on his toes in 6 and 8 round fights, then we have a problem. But you're at the highest of the highs, so you know.
Right. What I'm getting at is not necessarily challenging what you're saying. I'm digging into it though. This debate about whether Boots, and this is being had in the media, whether people realize it or not. Every time I have this conversation with a media person, it's one thing or the other. It's either Boots is in the pocket exchanging because he likes being in the pocket, and in a way, nobody's, maybe with the exception of Provodnikov, is going to be like, come on and hit me. But at the same time, you're putting yourself in a position to be hit when you don't have to be in a position to be hit. You can box on the outside. You are faster than your opponent. You have a good jab and a long one and a stiff one that can put your opponent away over rounds instead of being in there and exchanging when you know you're going to get hit as the nature of the exchange. So the question then becomes, is he in the pocket, again, taking punches that he doesn't have to take? Doesn't mean he's asking to be hit, but taking punches he doesn't have to take when he could box on the outside? Or is he not boxing on the outside and the opponent is the one to be credited for forcing the fight to be on the inside and landing those shots?
To answer your question, I could see, and I don't know this to be true or not, I could see Boots and the team thinking in their mind, Xander, they wanted the fight in the center, like in the pocket, because like Xander couldn't fuck with him. I think maybe if anybody gave Xander, like, just fuck it, throw a wild card out there, Xander would not outbox Boots, but be on his feet, move around, give Boots some problems because of what the Karen dude did in the first fight, right? Like, I think that was like maybe in everybody's mindset. Boots, so I could see him wanting to fight on the inside, and Xander just, was a little bit better than what he thought. Was tougher than what he thought. He had more balls than what he thought. Maybe he was bigger, stronger than what he thought, and so he took the punches, gave some punches back, and the fight played out how it played out. I could see that, to be honest. So I don't think it's more so of Boots wanting to be there and say, yeah, let's go tit for tat. I just think maybe their game plan was, yo, this kid's not ready. Kid's not sharp enough, not wise enough, not experienced enough, not old enough, whatever, to fuck with me on the inside. And while he was successful still, he still got him out of there, dropped him 3 times and got eventually twice and got him out there, got him out on the 3rd time. Maybe that was their game plan. I don't know that to be sure though. To be a fact though, but I can see that, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a credit to Xander then, for showing
something
in the fight.
Right. So that's why, like me included, and anybody else that picked Boots and was heavy on Boots, Xander came and shook some ass, bro. And his profile went up. It made him a better fighter. Bro, that shit makes you a better fighter. It gives you more confidence. That doesn't mean you want to go in there and get your ass whipped every fight and say, oh, I took punches from Boots for 7 rounds. I'm gonna walk into this fucking guy and no, I'm not saying that, but it makes you a better fighter. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, a lot of props to Xander, man. 100%, bro. 100%.
Yeah. What do you think? It's in all likelihood it'll always be a hypothetical, but with the fighter that Boots is turning into now, not like how would the Terence that did what he did to Errol Spence, did what he did to Canelo?
Don't matter, bro. He's retired. We're not talking about that.
All right.
For now. You believe that? You believe in Terence Crawford? You're 100% certain Terence Crawford never gets in the ring again.
I really don't, because he's rich as fuck. I think, and just the way I think he moves I just don't think he needs it. And I think he still believes. And by the way, if he does come back, it's against who? David Benavidez or Boots Ennis, right? Give me another option he could fight. That makes Canelo. Who? Canelo? Yeah, but besides the rematch with Canelo, 2 new guys he didn't fight. It would probably be those 2, right? Both. Damn. Benavidez would be a high risk, high reward. Right? That's a big
on the table anymore. Benavidez is at 200 pounds now. So
fair. But I still think
Canelo rematch or it'd be Jaron.
But I still think Boots is too much. It's a high risk, low reward, because you're not going to get the reported however many millions he got for Canelo against that. And we still can't act like, yeah, look, Rahim, it's a good fight. It's a competitive. I'm not going to give a prediction. It's not nothing like that, but we still can't act like.
I do not subscribe to the theory of, because a fighter says he's retired, that we can't talk about the potential of him coming back and facing somebody who's hot right there in his division right now. Especially when it's been anywhere inside of 5 years. I'll give you 3 maybe on the air, if I'm going to be conservative. But
3 to 5, for sure.
Money don't matter. Previous accolades don't matter. Undefeated don't matter. With these fighters, of which you are one, once they're out and it's not about them anymore and the spotlight's not on them and they got to deal with their families and their wives and the boredom and nobody's fucking picking them up and telling them what to do every day and nobody gives a fuck what they have to say about anything, they come back, bro. I mean,
can I be honest with you though? All right, I got you. Can I be honest with you? I'm retired. I don't fight no more. After Jamal, I had a farewell fight. I don't fight no more. Okay? And while I miss boxing every single day, I miss it every single day. I miss the moment. I everything you just said was I miss it, right? But I'm also not sitting on 40, 50 million, right? And all this shit going on, and he's still kind of involved. Bud has what appears through the camera lens. I'm sure he's a human, so he has fuckery going on too, right? But he lives a pretty dope life, if you ask me. Traveling everywhere, he's at these fights. He's like a grown ass fucking kid, right? I don't see that for him. People of his stature and all that, with all that money and shit, I personally don't see it. If it's me, I was called for a fight. I was called for a big fight not too long ago, and I'm like, I don't know. Sean knows. I kind of want to, but then I don't, because once you're out, you're out. That's me. And personally, so I'm just giving you my.
Let me ask you this. I don't know anything about that fight that they called you for. But
it was Caleb Plant. It was Caleb Plant. It was Caleb Plant.
I can beat that fucking guy. I can beat that guy.
I was Caleb. It was Caleb Plant. I'm like, yo, if there's two people I would come back, it'd be Danny Garcia or Caleb Plant. I don't know if you remember. I don't remember seeing you at the fight or whatever. But like, me and Caleb had a back and forth with each other at the both press conference, all that. So like, I don't really like the kid, to be honest. And the money was cool, but like, it wasn't like it was like low. Like, it just didn't get me up. Pause. Like, it didn't.
And
but I did feel like, I could beat that guy, and I want to punch him in his fucking face. Yes.
It's the ultimate match of the two white boy lineages, Rahim. You got to understand, this is important in our community. It's the trailer, the kid who came from the trailer park, the Eminem type of white boy, and then the paisan from the East Coast white boy. There are no two richer lineages and badass white manish in boxing and in our community, Rahim. So this would have been the two ultimate lineages clashing here. All right, who's better? Eminem, white guy, or the paisan from the East Coast?
I know where he's about to go. Go ahead, brother.
That's a credit to Cornflake that he's retired. He got an opportunity to beat a guy who he feels he could have beaten in a comeback fight against a guy he doesn't like, for not as much money as he would have liked, but enough to put some more in the bank account, right? And because he said, I've had enough and I'm out, he stays out. I think that is an anomaly. I think that for most fighters, just given that little bit of, I want to punch this guy in the face, I could beat him. What a huge difference that would make in my legacy if I farewell Caleb Plant, come back and then go back into retirement. The ego, the I can do it one more time, all that stuff is usually more than even the richest, famous fighters can resist if they really believe that they got one more shot at glory and it's easy money. I mean, again, from being outside the ring, never competed inside the ring, I just seen it so many times, I can't take Terence Crawford at his word.
Just one thing, though, Rahim.
I'm just
to be
now
fair,
taking Andre Ward at his word. He was thinking about it a couple of fucking years ago. As long as he's been out of the ring, he's still talking shit to Carl Froch. Like, well, maybe I might consider it. Like, you know what I mean? It's that. I can't take any of these guys at their word. They all lie, bro.
But to be fair,
they may mean it at the time, but they lie ultimately because they do come back.
To be fair, though, he's set to be on TNT this Saturday for the Abdullah Mason card, making his broadcasting debut. And two of his friends, who, even though, like you said, they flirt with exhibitions and comeback talk sometimes, Tim Bradley and Andre Ward, both ultimately when they retired, up until today, which has been several years, they have remained retired. And one reason why is they have their broadcasting careers, and Terence does begin his Saturday. So that kind of stuff will help you, I think, get some of your boxing fix, keep you close enough to the leather, but you don't have to actually physically go in there and do it anymore and risk your health, especially against younger, hungry fighters, that if you're Terence Crawford or Andre Ward, with every fiber in your being, you could beat them with no question if you were still in your prime. But why jeopardize it when, like Tommy's saying, you're sitting on a lot of money and you might wind up letting your pride get to you and lose a fight that you otherwise wouldn't have lost in your prime. And that's always a little bit of a tragedy in boxing, when you lose to fighters that you wouldn't have lost. And I'm not saying necessarily for sure, Tommy, that Crawford would have beaten Boots 2 or 3 years ago, but if you're Crawford, you 100% believe and know in your bones you do beat that guy. You do beat Jaron Ennis, and the only way you don't beat him is if you come back for the wrong reasons, or you come back with father time doing a tag team match on you alongside a fighter like Jaron Ennis. So, just to be fair with that perspective too.
And the main thing I will say in closing that Sean just said was that you got that. A lot of fighters don't have, the fighter fix. Like, you need that fix. Like, I own a gym. I'm going to the gym. I'm around the boxing. I have a promotion company. I do all that. So I'm in the boxing. A lot of people don't. But even when Andre retired, wasn't he managing Shakur? Wasn't he part of the management with Shakur in them?
Yep.
So he was still in it a little bit. and then time goes on, and you know whatever else he's doing. Bud is in, bro. I feel like I see Bud in more boxing shows retired than when he was active. Like just being there, being when Shakur fought, and you said, Sean just said he's doing his broadcasting debut. I'm picking Albert Bell to win, by the way, and you know, so he's in the boxing. He's in the boxing. You know what I mean? So that's a thing. I think that's a thing where as long as you're in it, somehow you ain't gotta like really be in the ring. If that means anything.
Yeah. All right. Well, Tommy's got things to do, people to see. Tommy, love you, brother. Thanks for hopping on.
Yo, Sean, thank you, Rahim. I appreciate your time, bro.
This was great fun. I enjoyed it. I'm happy to have heard your analysis and your.
So we're gonna do it again, right?
You just gotta come again.
Oh, so we're gonna do it again, right?
Of course. Why wouldn't we?
You want me to tell you the truth? Or you want me to lie? I've been asking Sean to do this. I've been asking Sean to do this trio for like I don't know, good almost a year.
Yeah,
Tommy, you know what's funny though? You and Cameron are the pause kings, right? No one tees up the pauses more than you.
You gotta be sharp, right? and the comments are gonna go crazy.
Shook ass like 6 times without saying pause.
Yeah, but like yeah, no, but that was like my saying because like I feel like if you're down, like you gotta shake some ass. Like Diego Corrales shook some ass when he came back, right, against Castillo. Right, it was Castillo, right? He had to shake that to me is shaking ass. So you gotta shake some ass to get up and figure it out. So I just say, that's just a analogy.
You gotta shake your ass, but watch yourself.
Look, we'll all shake hands virtually on this show, and we'll leave shaking asses to the ring girls.
We could do that too. All right, we could do that too. All right, Sean,
Many of these shows don't have them no more, Rahim.
What don't have them?
Yeah, forget it.
Forget about it.
Yeah.
Now listen, I know, jokes aside, I really enjoyed it. It's fun. We definitely should do it again. I appreciate your perspective. I like that you push because a lot of people would like to have said to me what you said, and I don't have the time to talk or the desire to interact with them. But you, anytime. I love it. Let's go. Looking forward to doing it again.
Thanks, Thomas. God bless you, brother.
All right,
Talk to you soon.
All right, y'all. Thank
Later.
you.